Hey, come sit. And I mean that literally tonight, wherever you are, whatever you're carrying into this moment, just come as you are. Don't fix anything first. Don't finish the thought that you're in the middle of. Don't wait until you feel more ready or more settled or more like the version of yourself you think should be listening to something like this. Just come. Because tonight, I want to talk to the person who came to the work already carrying something. The one, the one who woke up this morning with something heavy sitting on their chest before they even open their eyes. The one who is tired in a way that sleep doesn't quite reach. The one who's been telling themselves quietly, persistently, with the best intentions that they just need to get through this first. Sort through the weight first, feel better first, and then the real work can begin. I want to talk to that person tonight because I used to believe that too. And I want to tell you what it cost me to keep believing it. There are two stories we tell about pain and creative work, and neither of them are telling the truth. The first one is the romantic story, the suffering artist, the idea that pain is fuel, that the wound is the source, that the darkness is what makes the work beautiful, that you have to bleed a little to make something real. There's a version of that that sounds almost noble, almost worth it. But what it actually does, underneath the romance, is ask you to perform your pain rather than listen to it, to turn it into material before you've understood what it's saying, to aestheticize the signal before you've heard the broadcast. The second story is the productive story, the one that says discipline is the answer, that you push through, that the body's protests are obstacles to be managed, conditions to be optimized, inconveniences standing between you and your output. That's the professional thing. The serious thing is not to let how you feel get in the way of what you're trying to do. And this one sounds practical, responsible even. But what it actually does is teach you to treat your own interior like, but what it actually does is teach you to treat your own interior life as an interference. Neither story says the thing I think is actually true. Neither one says the signal is information. Listen to it. And here's what I've been learning about the body it tracks everything, not just pain, not just the obvious things, the tension in the shoulders, the weight behind the eyes, the particular exhaustion that comes from carrying something you haven't named yet. It tracks all of that. But it also tracks what you're avoiding, what you're ready for, what you've been sitting next to for so long you've stopped seeing it, what the work actually needs to go toward next, even when your mind is still arguing about the direction. Body knows things the work doesn't know yet. And when we treat those broadcasts as static, as noise to be managed or pushed through or gotten past, we lose the most accurate data we've have about where the real work actually lives. I think about this a lot as someone who records his voice for a living. Because here's something I've learned that nobody told me when I started. You can hear the body in a voice. Not sometimes, always. The tension of someone performing fine when they're not fine. The effort of holding something back while trying to sound present. The particular quality of a voice that is working very hard to be somewhere other than where it actually is. The room a body is in, the emotional room, the physical room, it shows up in the voice underneath the words. And the strange gift of that is this. When you stop fighting it, when you stop trying to record past the state your body is actually in, something in your voice gets truer. Not more polished, not more produced, truer. And the listener feels that difference even if they can't name it. They relax into it because what they're hearing is a real person in a real body in a real morning. And that, more than anything else, is what creates the feeling of being in the room with someone. I want to say something about the person who comes to creative work in pain. or in exhaustion, or in grief, or in that particular unnamed weight that isn't dramatic enough to call a crisis, but is heavy enough that it changes the quality of everything. The light looks different. The ordinary things require more. The version of yourself you're used to being feels slightly out of reach. That person, and I want to say this carefully because I mean it, that person is not behind. That person is not someone who needs to fix the condition before the real work begin. That person is already in the work because the ache you bring to the page, the weight you carry into the recording, the grief that sits in the room while you're trying to write, that is not interference. It's not static. That is the signal, the most honest signal you have. The one that knows things about where the work needs to go that your organized, managed, performing fine self would never find. And what the work is asking, what it has always been asking, is not for you to be past it. It's asking you to be with it, to write from the space around the signal rather than through it or past it, to let the ache be in the room without demanding that it becomes the subject, to allow the body's broadcast to inform the work rather than interrupt it. That's a different relationship than the one most of us were taught to have. And here's what that different relationship offers, not just to you, but to the person on the other side. When a listener or a reader encounters work that was made by someone in a real body on a real morning, when they can feel underneath the words that the creator wasn't past the pain when they made it, something happens in them. They recognize it. And then the recognition is its own form of relief. Because most of what we consume, most of what gets made and published and put in the world, carries this implicit requirement that you be okay first, that you be past it, that you show up to the work, to the reading, to the listening, already on the other side of whatever you're carrying. And most of us are never on the other side. Most of us are always in the middle of something. And work that was made from the middle, that holds the middle honestly, without trying to resolve it or romanticize it or push past it, that work says something to the person still in it. It says you're allowed to be here exactly as you are. You don't have to fix the condition first. So here's what I want to leave you with tonight. The body is not the obstacle between you and the work. The body is where the work begins every time. The exhaustion you woke up with this morning, the weight that was sitting on your chest before you opened your eyes, the grief that's been in the room for longer than you're ready to admit, the tension you've been holding in your shoulders since something happened that you haven't fully processed yet. That's not static. That's the signal. And the work, your work, the specific unrepeatable work that only you can make is waiting not for you to be past it. It's waiting for you to listen to it. You're allowed to be exactly where you are. You always were. That's all I've got for tonight. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself.